right, Brian Bonilla, we're going to be doing our fictional agency draft. Tell the parameters.
The parameters are these people cannot be real. So
Can't be real.
We're trying to create what would our dream agency be if it had an exact team that was only fictional characters. And the idea is we're going to create what their position would be, what would we imagine them doing?
Okay.
And what's the, overall focus for them.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. So for some reason, this is what Geno's most excited about. It wasn't Ken. It wasn't anything else.
No, this is what I live for. Love it.
Yeah. Very serious show here.
Yeah. I have a clipboard.
Yeah. How do we decide who goes first? I don't think we
heads or tails.
Would like that. Does that?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll just say it. What are you calling?
Technology's crazy. All right. Tails.
All right. Well, you flip a coin.
You said it feels biased. I know. You rigged it. All right. It's heads.
It's heads. So I will.
I mean, that's your series.
I get the pick
so
now. I get the pick. I'll give you the first pick.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
I don't want to hear no bullshit. So.
All right. My first pick in the fictional agency draft is going to be.
I swear to God.
I don't think we're going to have the same stuff.
I hope not.
I don't think we're going to have the same
I'll
stuff.
fight you.
My CEO is going to be.
Fuck. I'm nervous.
Michael Scott.
Okay.
From The Office.
Okay.
Ari tells you that I'm looking at a certain type of agency. This guy, he's obviously super funny, will make mistakes, and we'll just get away with it. I think it'll all be beautiful stuff here, but he's going to set the tone for the culture in the workplace. Michael Scott, CEO for my fictional agency draft.
Okay. All right. You know what's funny? I thought about him, right? I was thinking about Michael Scott, and I was like, who's like the modern day Michael Scott, right? And so my CEO, I went with Ted Lasso. Because listen, and you're gonna see this agency that I'm building is filled with misfits, right? And who has experience getting misfits to work together in a positive way. And also, honestly, it was hard finding fictional characters with not that much baggage. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, he's divorced or whatever. He gets mad sometimes. That's not that bad. That's not that bad.
Interesting. You got a great leader up there.
So yeah, I mean, he's proven that he can, adapt, no matter what. And that's the type of CEO that I need for my agency.
I love it. Okay.
Was that on your list?
Yeah, I crossed it off. That was going to be my head of client services right there.
Well, you see, you were thinking too small for him. Because he needs to be up top, man. He needs to.
Yeah. No, that's great. Okay. My chief strategy officer.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Let me see what I wrote.
I need someone smart.
No, come on.
Maybe investigative. Is analytical, knows a lot, will balance out Michael Scott's, lack of intelligence. I'm picking Sherlock Holmes.
Yo, that's good. That's interesting. Why Sherlock? Oh, you kind of get.
Yeah, I think he's just going to, as this just insights all over the place. He's just going to be looking to give him the direction. Hey, I'm going to send you out to go study this consumer and do some research, get out there in the field, study stuff. And I think he'll be able to just produce some of the great foundation for the creatives who I'm drafting soon.
Well, do you think Michael Scott would get distracted though by the fact that Sherlock Holmes is?
Well, that's a good point. I think Michael Scott is more for the agency culture, in the office.
Right.
And Sherlock's gonna be running around. He's gonna be kind of out in the field.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
He's doing the research. He's doing
the real work.
Yeah.
And Michael Scott's gonna be he's gonna balance it out like something stupid. He's gonna say something crazy, and it'll be a good balance there.
Yeah.
So
okay.
There's some tension there.
I see it.
There's some tension within those two.
You need tension. You need tension within your company. You don't want.
And with Michael having the final say, who knows which way they'll pick. Well, like it'll definitely steer it in
Well, the
an
thing is,
interesting way.
their office was the most successful out of all the other branches.
Exactly.
So somehow it worked.
It worked.
You know?
Who you got?
All right, chief strategy officer. You know, I was thinking like I need someone who, you know, understands strategy on all types of levels, but can also think like brand, right? So my pick, and I need a little bit of wild card, a little bit. So my pick was Saul Goodman, because you know he was able to. I don't know if you remember if you watched Better Call Saul, but he like created an ad for like this law firm that they thought was like too like risque, whatever. But you know, it showed that he knows branding, right? His whole thing is branding, right? But he's a lawyer, so he can think strategically. And listen, he gets his hands dirty, which is kind of what you want, right? You kind of want someone that's like gonna think a little bit outside the box. You know, isn't always going to play it safe. Is it illegal sometimes? Sure. But
so Brian's agency is going to be illegal. They're going to break the law.
That's why you got Ted Lasso there to anchor him in, right? You need him to be like, listen, that's not my thing, you know, whatever. So I think, you know, a little bit of babysitting there, but healthy.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your founding client like right now?
I didn't even think of that.
What do you yeah, maybe we could do that at the end.
Let me think on that. Do you have one?
No, I don't have one yet.
Let me think on that.
As we're developing the teams here.
Real brand or fake brand? Like fictional brand?
Either one.
Okay.
What's a fake brand?
I don't know. I was just...
You can make it up. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I got Michael Scott, Sherlock Holmes. I'm going to pick a creative here right now. Charlie Day. As one of my ECDs.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah, that's an Ellie pick as well.
I was. Let the record show. Dude, I did not listen. Props to you, man.
Yeah, I think that Michael Scott energy is going to match there with him. Just wild card, creative. Like he's going to come up with the weirdest ideas possible.
Dude, I want to work there. I just want to know what's about to happen. You know,
yeah.
Just Sherlock Holmes like investigating a murder. Charlie Day's.
I think Michael Scott and Charlie Day can definitely lighten up Sherlock Holmes and like.
Is that what you want? You want?
I think if they can sway him to be a little bit crazier,
okay,
and if he buys into the agency culture. It would go really well. We can use his brain for craziness.
Yeah. Good point. Because then Charlie Day is gonna say some dumb shit. Like Rap Boot, which is an actual real thing that was made.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna be like, "Well, I know how to make that." You know. And then that's how you get Uncommon.
Yeah. I'm basically creating Uncommon. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. I see where you're going with this. All right. So since you went creative, I'll go creative. For this, again, a little bit of a wild card, but someone that can think outside the box, but also has the pedigree, right? People know him. People like him. Is he controversial? A little bit. Willy Wonka. But Timothy Chalamet's Willy Wonka. I don't want...
Okay.
I don't want the guy that's kind of like seasoned and over it and killing kids and stuff. I want the guy that hasn't done that yet. And then again, Ted Lasso comes in, reels the crazy, but he's super creative, right? If you watch the movies and like, he's literally selling his like candy company or whatever. He's working with against competitors. And, you know, my one concern is he going to break out into song a lot? Sure. But, you know, that's something we got to talk about.
I just couldn't have that.
But he's super out there. Like, especially like experiential activations. You tell me Willy Wonka can't fucking make some dope shit, you know? So, I don't know. I like it.
What about the Oompa Loompa allegations of unpaid workers?
That's what I'm hoping for, the Timothy version, where he's like younger. He hasn't done as much of that. And then we're gonna get a good HR team, and we're going to get those Oompa Loompas paid, you know?
So you're gonna have to be drafting an HR person.
No, listen. I think that's where Ted Lasso comes in. He's gonna be.
That's why you have Saul Goodman as your lawyer there. I see that.
We were
so you can get away with
it. I think everyone here because Saul, and you're gonna see one of my other picks. Saul is also gonna be on new business, so it's like a chief strategy, new business guy. Ted Lasso is gonna be like a chief people officer, CEO guy. You know what I mean? And then that's where we reel in the CCO. Just be like, look, you're younger. You're like, the hot shot, right? Because you're Timothée Chalamet. But like, we can't have some of that. We want the cool shit. We don't want the like controversial shit. So
Ellie's laughing.
It'll work. It'll work. I'm telling you, bro. Like
that's so good. A lot of song. You're gonna break out into song a lot.
I know, that's my one concern. I can't have songs in my agency. Like I'm not. Oh, but jingles, man.
You gotta bring them back.
Yeah.
Whopper, 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 Whopper. Building Barkley OKRP. All right. My board is. I don't have any other titles and stuff now. I think I'm just gonna kind of figure this out as I go. But I want a visionary, somebody that can see into the future. And I'm going to be picking.
Okay, what the hell?
Raven Simone from That's So Raven.
Okay,
just like little glimpses into the future there. So,
but like, I love it. By the way, I love that show. But like, it often didn't work out. So like,
didn't
what I mean? Like, she would see into the future. And
then they were like, cooking for the president.
Yeah.
That was Corey in the House, right?
But I was saying, I thought you were gonna say like Doctor Strange, like some crazy shit. Like.
Oh hell no!
I don't know.
I wouldn't want somebody named Doctor Strange working in my
Bro, you have
ad.
Charlie Day. I don't think you have the right to judge anyone.
Doctor Strange. No, okay, Raven. I don't need to see. She only sees like a couple hours ahead, right?
It'll be like a day sometimes.
Yeah, that's all I need. Like, it's very fast. We're moving the speed of culture here, so I gotta just see a day ahead.
You could just use it for like investments. You don't even need an agency. You could just like rig the stock market. Just like,
I don't think she can control what she sees, though, right?
But I think you're betting on, as she works with you guys, she will hone in on those, because she's a teenager and she's like gonna get older and develop those powers. Right?
Yeah.
So I didn't see.
She still got that.
I didn't see the reboot.
Because she's a real person, but so did she have that? Like is she still doing that in real life? She got that capability.
What? Are you talking about, does she have powers in real life?
Yeah, is that real? Was that based on a real story or no?
No.
Okay.
We debunked that here.
Okay.
This is where
just check it.
Okay, Raven. All right. Interesting. Yo, I didn't listen. You surprised me. You surprised me so far with these, so I like it. All right. My next pick, I'll also go a little like fantasy, a little, because production costs are high.
Damn.
Right? And so how do you cut that down? Right? I'm gonna need one of the Fairly Odd Parents, man. I'm gonna need Wanda, and because think about it. Oh, you want this like TV set? Boom, it's made, zero cost.
So
head of production.
Why not Cosmo? You don't want a green dude?
He's just very, like he's clearly not the smarter one, right? Wanda's the smart one. She gets shit done. Head of production, just like any wish that I want for my clients or anything. Oh, you want this media placement in the Super Bowl? Boom. No cost.
Is this legal?
But they won't know. They won't know.
Ellie, is this allowed? Nope, I'm losing.
Well, I'm glad you went fantasy, because I was like, man, is this a cheat code? But all right. Cool.
I like it. Wanda.
Clearly I watched too much television is the real concern. But
I think that's where I'm going to put in Jack Sparrow.
Oh, fuck. What the hell?
Jack Sparrow.
Explain that.
He'll obviously be a great creative. If you're thinking about experiential as well, I think he'll like show up with a pirate ship of some sort.
You just want a pirate ship?
I mean, if you think about new business.
Okay.
Think about new business.
Yeah. Oh, bring him on.
Yeah.
Pirate ship.
Yeah. Like pitching any sort of brand, we'll put him in that room. And I think the pitch theater there is just going to win every client. Like I can see Taylor Grimes right now at Goodyear, just getting done with a meeting with Ted Lasso, loving him. And then my agency shows up with Jack Sparrow. And I think Taylor Grimes at Goodyear is going to want to work with the Jack Sparrow agency, just knowing him. So my brand that we're going for is Goodyear. And you tell me, Taylor Grimes.
Yeah, we need a vote. We need a vote. All right.
Take that, Publicis Pit Crew.
Listen, you've surprised me so far, so I appreciate it. My last pick. So this is where the duality is going to come in with Saul Goodman, right? Because I want Saul to be strategy, but new biz. I need that duality, right? But with that, I also need another like co-CSO, co-new biz person.
You need 2 new business people?
I do, because half and half, right? Saul's going to do some of the like illegal shit. This person's going to be like a straight arrow. So, but they're also going to be a chief brand officer. So I'm thinking Flo from Progressive, because she, she's literally like selling the brand all day, right? And if you look at it, she's also like 10 people, which makes no sense. And I just think I need someone who's going to actually like understand how to sell to clients, right? So you have Saul Goodman doing kind of the big picture new biz, but she's like executing. She's executing.
Good comms lead too.
Yeah, someone who understands.
You want Flo pitching you like all the time about this agency's work, and you, Brian Bonilla, if you're a journalist, you want Flo in your ear all the time. And also, can she get away from Progressive?
All right. Well, clearly we're gonna give her a nice like package, like a pay package, and like we're gonna.
She's a ride or die for Progressive. I feel like you think you're gonna be able to scoop her from there.
All right. Well, clearly this isn't. All of a sudden, that's serious. Like all of a sudden, we're like, now we're talking about like we're gonna get from you. Got a fucking pirate. So I don't even know what you're gonna convince him to have an office job.
He would love it.
So don't even come to me with just. So I don't even know what you're talking about. Is the office in the fucking ship? Like, is that where you're?
Yes.
So that's my team, man. Saul Goodman, Flo. Strategy and new biz. She'll do some comms. Ted Lasso CEO. Wanda killing it on production. 0 production fees. 0 costs. 0 costs. So
just like, is she just gonna like place the ad on the sphere?
She's just gonna buy the shit out of everything. She's just gonna buy everything. And then the thing is, nobody will know. They'll be like, oh, I guess I sold that. You know?
Who's your client?
Who is my client?
Who's your client? Yeah.
Damn, that's a good question. The first thing that popped in my head was like Netflix. I don't know why. I just think like a streaming service has a lot of shows. They need a lot of activations. They need a lot of different types of marketing, right? And I think that's what our team's able to provide, just like a breadth of work.
I like that. Mine's Michael Scott, the CEO, Sherlock Holmes as the chief strategy officer, Charlie Day as the chief creative officer, Raven Simone, or is it Raven Baxter? What's her name?
It is Bax. They're on the show.
Raven Baxter
on the show, yeah.
As
you didn't even give her a title.
Visionary, chief visionary officer.
Yeah,
and Jack Sparrow, head of new business.
Okay. Any honorable mentions that you wanted?
Ferris Bueller was an interesting one.
Okay.
I think him and Charlie Day would get along. Who you got?
This wasn't like a fake person, so I couldn't do it. But Gordon Ramsay would be fire. Also,
nobody would like working with him.
The Avatar, The Last Airbender. I was like, how could I get Aang into this somehow? But he's just like, he doesn't really have skills that relate to, he's just gonna like showmanship, kind of like, like the wind,
Yeah,
but
the wind, yeah. There's a lot of wind stuff.
Yeah. Although airline client, why wouldn't you want the Airbender, the Last Airbender?
That's true.
So I don't know. Maybe I'm rethinking it, but yeah, that was kind of mine.
All right.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't go with the typical because obviously Don Draper, and, like all these other people,
Detroiters. Detroiters
would be cool.
Yeah,
I was thinking about it, but I'm like, they just never landed a client. Like, I don't know if I can trust them.
Yeah,
they have a lot of heart.
Yeah,
but
that's what you want. You just want passion.
You do want passion. I mean, look, that's what your agency has. They have passion.
Ted Lasso's got passion. You can get these people on your team to come up with some good ideas for sure.
Yeah, I think. Look,
the unpaid workers with the Oompa Loompas though.
No, but we'll figure that out.
The allegations will come through.
That's why I said the before he started doing that. the younger version. So, I mean, look, Charlie Day's committed so many crimes. I don't even Michael Scott. I mean, racism, all that.
I'm sure Nils Leonard, would be able to work with these guys.
Charlie Day came in spell.
That's all we got, everybody.
Cool.
Let us know who you'd rather work with. Which agency you'd rather work for.
Yeah, vote for me. Just vote for me. Cool.
Nice. Break.